Pope Francis appointed Manila Archbishop Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle as the new prefect of the congregation.
Whispers in Vatican City have now grown into echoes. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle's remarkable journey, from a humble Filipino priest to a leading contender for the papacy, has sparked both admiration and curiosity about his true influence over the Catholic Church's future. As the first Asian to attain the highest cardinal rank, he skillfully navigates the delicate balance between traditional Catholic values and progressive ideas. The question now lingers: is this media-savvy cardinal carefully positioning himself to become the next pope? And how would the public respond if that moment arrived? In this exploration, we uncover how Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle finally addresses what many have long suspected. Inside the centuries-old walls of Vatican City, Tagle walks the marble corridors where church history resonates with every footstep. Yet in these ancient halls, the Filipino cardinal brings something entirely new, an Asian perspective that is influencing how the church faces modern challenges. Since arriving in 2019, Tagle has accumulated Vatican roles with the precision of a collector gathering rare treasures. Each position has amplified his influence. Member of multiple Vatican departments, overseer of the Church's vast financial resources, and head of its global missionary operations. Unlike many of his predecessors who worked behind closed doors, Tagle has insisted on transparency in these powerful positions. His role in managing church finances is a prime example. As part of the administration of the patrimony of the Holy See, he oversees funds large enough to dazzle seasoned investment bankers. But Tagle has pushed for stricter oversight and more open financial reporting. The faithful deserve to know how their donations serve God's work, he declared at a pivotal meeting, one that ultimately redefined Vatican banking practices. His leadership of Caritas Internationalis from 2015 to 2022 showcased his ability to tackle global crises. Whether responding to devastating earthquakes in Haiti or coordinating aid during the war in Syria, Tagle led efforts that crossed both religious and political lines. Under his guidance, Caritas evolved from a traditional charity into a modern humanitarian organization, blending professional management with its deeply spiritual mission. His efforts did not go unnoticed. In February 2024, the French government awarded him the Legion of Honor, France's highest accolade. At the Villa Bonaparte ceremony, Tagle shifted the spotlight from himself to the volunteers who make Catholic charity possible. This honor belongs to countless hands that serve the poor, he said, gently touching the medal with his trademark humility. Just months later, in Indianapolis' Lucas Oil Stadium, Tagle took the stage as special envoy to the National Eucharistic Congress. 50,000 American Catholics filled the same arena that usually roars with NFL games. But on this day, their applause was for him. Tagle seamlessly connected ancient church teachings to contemporary life struggles, touching even the hearts of non-Catholics in the audience. Yet perhaps his most groundbreaking achievement is breaking the centuries-old European monopoly on Vatican leadership. As the first Filipino to reach the Church's highest cardinal rank, he has opened doors once firmly shut to Asian leaders. In Vatican meetings, he speaks with the voice of the fastest-growing Catholic populations, Asian and African communities poised to shape the Church's future. His grasp of both Eastern and Western cultures makes him a natural bridge between worlds. Muslim leaders commend his respectful interfaith approach. Jewish rabbis value his efforts to strengthen Catholic-Jewish ties, and even secular organizations seek his guidance on issues like climate change and poverty. Today, Vatican insiders and global media frequently name Tagle as a potential pope, something once thought unthinkable for an Asian cardinal. His mix of deep spirituality, administrative talent, and warm personal presence has expanded the Church's vision of what is possible. Yet those closest to him say power hasn't changed him. Between high-level meetings, he still pauses to greet Vatican gardeners by name, remembers their family stories, and leaves his office door open to ordinary visitors. His focus remains on serving people, not on holding power. In a place where tradition and change often collide, Tagle has done the rarest of things, earning the respect of staunch traditionalists while steadily advocating for reform. As one veteran Vatican journalist observed, he's showing that change doesn't always mean revolution. Sometimes it just needs a smile and an open heart. While Tagle's rise through the Vatican hierarchy has captured headlines, it is how he uses his power that truly defines him. How has this humble Filipino priest managed to shake centuries of rigid Catholic protocol while uniting people across deep theological divides? The answer lies in both his actions and his convictions. Back in Manila's crowded streets, stories about Tagle are told with pride. People speak of a cardinal who takes public buses, carries his own bags, and shares meals with street children. He sat right next to me on the jeepney, recalls Maria Santos, a street vendor. I didn't believe it was him until he smiled and asked about my family. This is no PR strategy, it's how Tagle lives. Often called the Asian Francis for his similarities to Pope Francis, Tagle has charted a unique course in church leadership, breaking traditions while staying firmly rooted in Catholic doctrine. On sensitive moral issues, he holds firmly to church teaching against abortion and artificial contraception, yet he addresses such topics with unusual gentleness. The harsh words we used in the past, he told a packed audience, have built walls instead of bridges. His compassion is most evident when speaking about LGBTQ plus Catholics and divorced believers. In a landmark address that moved listeners to tears, he insisted, before we speak of sin, we must speak of human dignity. Before we point fingers, we must extend hands. Environmental stewardship is also close to his heart. When typhoons ravage the Philippines, Tagle doesn't limit himself to prayers, he acts. His initiatives encourage parishes to plant trees, reduce plastic waste, and develop community gardens, pairing practical solutions with spiritual reflection. Tagle also embraces modern communication. His Facebook Live sessions attract millions, and his YouTube channel simplifies complex theological ideas into relatable, digestible talks. Remarkably, he often personally responds to messages from those in distress, sometimes well past midnight. For him, poverty is never an abstract debate. In both Manila and the Vatican, his doors have remained open to the poor. Security guards recall him skipping formal dinners to sit with homeless families seeking help. During Manila's worst urban poverty crisis, he transformed and used church properties into temporary shelters and established soup kitchens where people could eat with dignity, served at tables with real plates, not in lines with disposable containers. Perhaps his boldest move was publicly acknowledging the church's failings. In a heated debate about church wealth, Tagle startled traditionalists by supporting greater financial transparency. We cannot preach poverty while living in luxury, he declared. Some conservative voices criticize his progressive style, but Tagle remains steady. The church must change with the times, he says, not in its truth, but in how we share that truth with the world. His signature smile and approachable nature never fade, whether he's speaking to theologians or sharing a meal with janitors. In a world of loud voices, his former secretary notes, Cardinal Tagle shows that true power lies in gentle strength. This rare mix of tradition, progress, and humility has given Tagle a unique place in modern Catholicism. As one Vatican observer put it, Tagle isn't changing the Church's beliefs. He's changing how those beliefs are lived out in the world. The journey began in 1982, when Father Luis Antonio Tagle first walked into the sunlit courtyard of San Agustin Parish in Cavite. Freshly ordained, he carried only a worn Bible and a burning desire to serve. Parishioners had no idea they were meeting a man who would one day transform the Church's power structure. His intellect and humility quickly drew attention. Within a year, he was both parish priest and spiritual director at the diocesan seminary. By 1983, at just 26, he became the seminary's rector, an unusually rapid rise that stirred both admiration and expectation. The Vatican took notice in 1997 when Pope John Paul II selected him for the International Theological Commission. There, he worked directly with Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, the future Pope Benedict XVI, earning respect not through loud arguments but through attentive listening. In October 2001, as Bishop of Imus, Tagle broke with convention. He owned no car, avoided luxury, and welcomed the homeless to share his meals. Locals recall seeing him sweeping the cathedral steps at dawn. When floods devastated Cavite in 2009, Tagle turned churches into shelters and waded through knee-deep water alongside volunteers, letting his actions speak louder than words. His 2011 appointment as Archbishop of Manila came at a time when the church in the Philippines faced deep social and political challenges. Tagle responded with open dialogue, advocacy for the poor, and innovative use of social media to reach younger Catholics drifting away. On November 24, 2012, he received his cardinal's red hat at age 55, the second youngest in the College of Cardinals. His tears during the ceremony revealed a rare vulnerability in church leadership. By 2019, Pope Francis brought him to the Vatican as prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, a post with immense influence over global missionary work and bishop appointments in Asia and Africa. In 2020, he became the first Asian to achieve the rank of cardinal bishop, shattering centuries of European dominance. His reach now extends from the streets of Manila to the heart of Vatican policymaking, shaping the future of a church that serves over 1.3 billion faithful. Yet despite his rise, his core approach remains unchanged, listening before speaking, serving before leading, and keeping his door open all. As one Vatican insider put it, with Tagle, you find power without pride, authority without distance. One of his most moving moments came when he spoke about the Eucharist before a vast crowd. His words were deeply personal, connecting sacred truths to the everyday struggles of those listening. Many were brought to tears, not because it was a grand speech, but because it felt like an intimate conversation between faith and life. Influence over global missionary work and bishop appointments in Asia and Africa. In 2020, he became the first Asian to achieve the rank of cardinal bishop, shattering centuries of European dominance. His reach now extends from the streets of Manila to the heart of Vatican policymaking, shaping the future of a church that serves over 1.3 billion faithful. Yet despite his rise, his core approach remains unchanged, listening before speaking, serving before leading, and keeping his door open all. As one Vatican insider put it, with Tagle, you find power without pride, authority without distance. One of his most moving moments came when he spoke about the Eucharist before a vast crowd. His words were deeply personal, connecting sacred truths to the everyday struggles of those listening. Many were brought to tears, not because it was a grand speech, but because it felt like an intimate conversation.